But anyway, football. And Jordan has just informed us that Newcastle has just won 2-0 at Goodison Park. That's a
Lovely.
huge result.
Lovely
I mean,
joy.
you could have like two sides of that coin though, because on the one hand, it's great that Newcastle finally have a win under their belt because we've got a few mates in the Mosh Talks community, including our very own Murray man who's in the chat, who are
Yeah.
Newcastle supporters.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I'm quite happy for them that they've actually got a win under their belt. But on the flip side of that, of course, it means Steve Bruce is his sort of the board are going to have a bit more confidence in him now that he's won at Goodison Park, So Newcastle just won 2-0 at Goodison, like we were just informed by Jordan. Like I said, great news. Well, great news and bad news in that it's great news that Steve Bruce is. It's great news that Newcastle have won, and we know a bunch of Newcastle mates, including Murray Man in our chat and Goff Botherer in the Mosh Talks Discord. They're Newcastle fans. They'll be kind of happy with that, but at the same time, they'll be annoyed that Steve Bruce will probably still be there as a result of winning at Goodison, because they've wanted rid of him for a while,
Yeah. I think I can't really say much on Newcastle because I don't know much about the history. The only thing I knew was before him was obviously.
Well, they've
Benitez,
basically had a murderer's row of
Benitez.
bad managers over the last few years. You have Steve Bruce, obviously. You had John Carver, Joe Kinnear, Sam Allardyce. They've all been in charge of Newcastle over the years. The only decent one they had was Rafa Benitez, really. He's just come back from China, managing in China. So, hope, there's probably hope that Newcastle fans out in that. I don't know, Murray Man, if you would want Rafa back personally.
He was just more coffin fodder for Chelsea as well, wasn't he? Like,
I guess so. Oh, Chelsea, by the way. I mean,
yeah, there's
we'll probably cover that, I think. So they rather unceremoniously gave Fat Frank, the old elbow, and they have brought in Tuchel from PSG. So what is your view on Abramovich's sort of endless revolving door of managerial appointments and dismissals then?
He just seems like a very impatient chairman to me. Like, he doesn't give any manager time to fit into the team and give them the team they want. And I think that is what Lampard was doing. But I think, he last season it wasn't too bad, but with what he had due to the ban, I think he worked well with it. He brought up newcomers like Abraham and Mount, and they'd been performing really well. And it's unfortunate that he'd brought in Havertz and Werner. And they just haven't performed as well as people hoped they would. I
think they've still had a bit about them. They've still got the odd goal here and there. But
what is going on with Werner's his accuracy and things like that? I just see all these TikTok montages of Werner being right by the goal and then just kicking it up into the roof.
You don't think he's going to be like a new Andrei Shevchenko or Fernando Torres? The star striker that Chelsea signed that end up not replicating the form they once had.
Pretty much, and I personally think he needed more time. It's clear that at least Man U have actually given Ole the benefit of the doubt in that regard.
You can see that they're reaping the rewards, really, aren't they? Most Man United fans in November were or October were like, "Oh my God, Ole, get rid of Ole, get rid of Ole! Oh my God, what's going on?" Yeah. Now they're second, third in the table. I know,
and
just goes to show if you give managers. I mean, I was with Arteta in November. I was like, right, he's got to go. This is beyond the joke now. We're in the relegation zone.
Yeah,
and since he stopped playing bloody Willian and Pepe regularly, and he's brought in Bukayo Saka and Smith Rowe. We'll get on to Smith Rowe in a minute, but our fortunes have drastically improved since the turn of the year with Arteta at the helm. And that's the thing. If you don't allow a manager to build a legacy at a club, then what chance have you got at Chelsea if you're a Chelsea manager?
I think
it's how long's Tuchel going to last? Probably 2 seasons.
Yeah. I would. It gets to a point now. You see the track records, and most managers now wouldn't touch being a manager at Chelsea with a 10-foot barge pole. I think, like in terms of managers, I am starting to raise questions over Mourinho. Mainly because, well, I think not necessarily the last straw, but the decisions he made on Thursday were just odd. Like
Mm.
let's like
Well,
recap
to
with
be
that.
fair, you got back into it, and
We got
like,
back into it. No, well, we were playing the game really good to start with, and then just near to the end of the first half, then we let ourselves down, and then the changes that were made at half time made things even worse because not only was Doherty, who was playing a terrible, terrible game, was kept on
mm,
in favour over Aurier, who would he hadn't played the best game, but he was definitely playing better than Doherty, and they
mm.
sub Doherty off, and then they bring who they bring on? I think they brought on Lamella and I can't.
Lamella.
They
I can't
brought
believe you still have Lamella. To be honest, like, how
Lamella,
long has he been there for? Like 10 seasons.
yeah,
It's
Lamella
like-
and Winks they brought on, and
oh
it was
man.
just like the thing is the thing I don't get about Mourinho at the moment is he'll say to Ali and Bale, you need to prove you need to prove yourself if you want minutes. But then he puts someone like Harry Winks on after just scoring a great goal in an FA Cup match.
Mm.
And I don't understand because Winks has not had the best track record this season. He
Well,
didn't have
we've
the best
got
track
Greg in the chat saying
record
he
last
doesn't
season.
really rate Winks at all.
Neither
So
do I, and I just don't understand why Mourinho is just like really biased towards these players like Ali and Bale, who are Ali's starting to be more consistent again, and Bale hasn't even had chance to get minutes, and
mm.
even because Kane had to get taken off at half time due to injury, they didn't even put Carlos Vinicius on, so they lost that attacking prowess that they had in the first half. So no wonder Højbjerg had to go up there and
Mm.
start showing more attacking prowess, and that probably distract him a bit from being able to defend. And Rodon made a silly mistake with the last goal, but he definitely was defending better than Dyer on the night. And Lloris, I don't know what was happening with him either. Normally he's quite commanding, but in that game, like he made some miraculous saves during the first half, but then he just started to slip, and there was no communication between him and the defenders, and it just went
Yeah.
tits up from there.